Third, what this project is aiming at: unification of high specialty and profound general education, that is, liberal arts, development of core human resources in specialized fields, backed up by profound understanding concerning the common good of East Asia. Facing the new tasks mentioned above, we decided to initiate educational and research projects of our own, which include an educational program to cultivate profound understanding concerning the common good of East Asia. This differs from past exchange projects that were limited to education in specialized fields. Let me point out our advantage in carrying out this plan. What I would like you to pay attention to is the fact that our partners in this project, Jilin University and Songyungwan University, are not only serving as major academic centers in the East Asian cultural sphere, but also have a strong relationship with Japanese academic culture. Changchun, where Jilin University is located, is still one of the centers of Japanese educational culture in China. Songyungwan University, attaining its 600th anniversary, is the oldest university in South Korea. It has long been one of the largest research centers of the Confucian culture that has exerted an overwhelming influence in the East Asian cultural sphere. Okayama, the place where Okayama University is located, is a place where an outstanding Confucian culture once came into bloom. Many Confucian scholars and intellectuals opened schools around the Setouchi region. The Shizutani School in Okayama will have a great significance when we re-examine the liberal arts culture that is indigenous to East Asia. Students from the three universities will naturally develop a common cultural background through earnest study of the traditional culture of the three universities and their local areas. Our program also needs to provide students with opportunities to learn the indigenous culture of this region. I suppose that we, including both teachers and students, will be able to gradually construct a relationship of solidarity, also in an intellectual aspect, by experiencing local culture and actual life in Okayama, Seoul, and Changchun in the course of this educational project carried out jointly in Japan, China, and South Korea. Still, our project does not end with these plans. It also requires knowledge of the common good of East Asia. This project is called the Program for Core Human Resources Development for the Achievement of the Common Good, Bonum Commune, and a Re-evaluation of Classical Culture in East Asia. The common good of East Asia here, needless to say, contains in its meanings the promotion of the common interests of people living in the East Asian region in a general sense. In addition, the phrase common good has a certain specific meaning. It is a concept whose original meaning flowed into Western thought from the philosophy of ancient Greece and is usually expressed as to koine sympheron in Greek,
力を合わせるという意味です。シュンフェロンというのは利益、あるいは
and
良いこと、
bonum commune in Latin.
共通の利益という意味もあります。また、ラテン語では、ボーヌムコムーネと表現されて、
The most important meaning of this phrase is the simultaneous balanced pursuit of individual interests and the common interests of the community,
バランスを保った追求、
i.e.,
すなわち
the pursuit of justice.
追求を意味しておりました。で、これは世界の古代社会から
This is a principle which has been continuously pursued since the time of ancient societies to the present age of the world, and modern Western societies appear to have inherited it only partially. In the present Western world, attention is being focused once again on this concept of the common good.
脚光が当てられております。 EU
Citizenship of the European Union is advocated as an important pillar of the EU's common good, and rulings of the European Court of Human Rights are given priority over the constitutional norms of EU countries. A series of televised lectures by Professor Michael Sandel of Harvard University, Justice with Michael Sandel, attracted much attention in Japan recently. It is still fresh in our memory that the principle upon which Professor Sandel stands is the concept of common good, which has been used since the era of Aristotle. Of course, the concept of common good has existed continuously in Eastern thought. The discussions of gi, or righteousness, in the 4 books, Great Learning, Doctrine of the Mean, the Analects and Mencius, in particular chapter 10 of the Great Learning, quote, in a state pecuniary gain is not to be considered to be prosperity, but its prosperity will be found in righteousness. Chapter 20 of the Doctrine of the Mean, righteousness is the accordance of actions with what is right, and the beginning phrase of Mencius, why must your majesty use that word profit? What I am provided with are counsels to benevolence and righteousness, and these are my only topics, are all too well known. It is clear that these correspond in a broad sense to the concept of common good in Western thinking. Of course, there are some arguments that emphasize the difference between the Eastern common good and the Western common good. We should first organize such arguments by comparing both of these concepts through an examination of the original texts, no matter how difficult that challenge may be. When we reconstruct the concept of common good more strictly, we can see that it consists of the following 4 elements. 1. Values, i.e., the pursuit of justice. 2. Educational system, a style of education in which shared tasks are explored in a cooperative manner. 3. Critical reinterpretation of traditional values. And 4. Cooperation with communities, villages, and municipalities. These elements coincide precisely with what we have newly proposed as cultural challenges in academic exchanges between Japan, China, and South Korea. Our project plans to pursue these tasks 1 to 4 in specific educational programs. Details of the development will be explained by Professor Taguchi.
5. 東アジアの共通点を求めて